It's a great week. I'll let you go next, Amir. Tell us just gratitudes and wins.
Great to be with you guys. Thanks for having me on. Great group, guys. Congratulations on your success. I read this book recently called The Gap in the Game, and it made a huge impact on me. And it reminds me of this call because you guys are all winners, and like I know one thing that I can speak for you guys is like winners. They hate they hate to lose more than they love to win. And so what that means is we oftentimes measure the things that we're missing in our lives, right? But if we just stop and measure instead of the gap, but we measure how far we've come, right? It's a beautiful thing, right? And like today, I live in Miami now, guys. I'm originally from Chicago after 35 years, and I'm driving to Miami. I'm like, do these people have any idea how fortunate they are to like commute to work in like without snow and gray skies? And I'm like, they probably don't know, right? And I'm like, because I appreciate it because I come from a really tough place in Chicago, terrible traffic, terrible winters, but I don't judge anybody, but I'm like, if they just only knew how like fortunate they are to have sun on their face, like pretty much all year. It's these little things we got to pay attention to. So this gratitude muscle, you guys are all business people, right? Great business people are great salespeople. Can't have a business unless you sell. One of the most invisible traits of really good business people is gratitude. They don't teach this in college. They don't teach this. And when you get that MBA, it's this physiological aura that you have about yourself when you work with gratitude. Right? Like we just have to remind ourselves on that. So in spirit of that, I'm just very grateful to be here, right? Having a skill that I worked really hard for that I can use properly to impact other people, to transfer that. It's very fulfilling when you become really good at what you do and you work your ass off your whole life to master it and to be able to transfer to other people to help impact their lives. I don't take that lightly at all, right? So in my time with you guys together today, Dave has really become one of my favorite people. What I love about Dave, right, I say this in front of his face, I say behind his back is, I don't really like a lot of mortgage executives. I took a stab at it at lower.com. I didn't like any of those people. Just so much freaking bureaucracy. These guys, like, they're not coachable. They think they know everything. And it's like they make all these decisions without the loan officer's best interest. Like, I just told the guy that runs Housing Wire, he has this event called The Gathering. I'm like, dude, you need me on that stage and you should pay me. You guys are all getting together, all you goofy executives. We're your clients. I represent loan officers. You should have loan officers there. Like, without us, there's no you. And last time I checked, it's not that hard to go up a mortgage company, right? So what I love about Dave is the ultimate sign of humility is being coached. I don't know. You could be a silent film from the 1920s. I don't need to even hear the words. If somebody goes and says, hey, I need a business coach, it's the ultimate expression of I'm a rookie, white belt mentality person. I can always learn every single day. Right. And that's what I love about Dave. What I love about the company as well is like when I talk to Dave, everything he talks about is like there's an invisible chair in the room and it's one of you guys sitting in that chair. He's like, I got to get a better ops manager to help my LOs. I want them to do more in production. Amir, how can I do this? How can I do that? Those are the rooms and conversations I want to be in. I also like that your company, right? There's not that much layered management. You guys have access to Dave. It's great programs and pricing. And like for him to bring me on board here on this call, that's what I'm grateful for. So Dave and I were coaching yesterday and we were talking about something, right? And Jacqueline was actually, it was in essence around you. He's your daughter and obviously you're a go-getter winner at Go Coaching. You're in the program, right? And like you're on a call right now that we put you on. There's a few people in that group that have 20 plus loans in the pipeline, okay? What I want you guys to always remember, this market right now, whatever you have in your pipeline, multiplied by 2. However many leads you're getting, multiplied by 2. Because that's what you're going to be generating and closing in 12 months from now. Let me tell you why. Okay. And I'll go back. I'm going to tie this all together in this example for you, Jacqueline. Every single day, there's a loan officer leaving the business. Every single day, there's a loan officer doing this part-time now. They were a tourist. They thought they're going to come here and they thought it was Disney World and Mickey Mouse and lollipops and cotton candy every single day. Then they realized, holy cow, it's not that easy, right? 3, Every single day, there's a loan officer thinking the grass is greener on the other side, and they're changing companies and they're losing momentum. 4, every single day, there's loan officers mentally checked out. 5, every single day, there's loan officers, they're just not hustling. It's a why me? Oh, Jerome Powell and Donald Trump and the tariffs. It's like they're watching too much news, and they're in here. 6, every day there's loan officers. They're losing realtors because they're not playing big enough to go after the best ones. Look at what's happening. Okay. First of all, I don't think there's anyone more credible than me in the industry right now to give you this perspective. I have 1,000 LOs from Alaska. Yes, I have one guy in Alaska, to Miami, to Maine. I have Casey in Maine, to SoCal. At brokers, IMBs, credit unions, I see it all. Every single day, there are loan officers being eliminated. All of you, if you can stay the course and not hang out with losers and be in the right community and just focus on the inputs, you're going to continue to get more market share and more market share. You want to be around people that are closing 20 loans a month, that have 20 loans in the pipeline. Do not be around the naysayers right now. You got to protect your mind. You follow? It's very important. I'll tell you this. Right now, I'm coaching. At Go Coaching, we have 5 levels, right? One of the levels is all the elite members. You guys, it is wild. Like when I go on these calls, I go around the room. This is the exercise I've been doing the last week. I said, okay, guys, we're going around the horn. How many loans in the pipeline? 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 24, 27, 21, 38, 32, 24. I'm like, holy cow. Is this 2021? And then I go like the level 1 group people. My guy, how many loans are you in the pipeline? 2. What are you doing all day? What are you doing all day? I don't understand. Which company are you from? X. You're at the same company as this guy, same city. I go, are you using a different loan origination software? Did they give you a different keyboard? Like, do you have a different headset? Like, do you have a different pricing engine? Obviously, I'm being facetious. Listen, get in next time you're on a plane and you're about to land, look out the window. There's hundreds of homes. You just need 10 or 15 of that. Okay. So I'm going to drop a stat in the chat box. Dave, am I cool? Like I have free flow, right? Can I keep going? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if like you had a format, like you want me to say hi and
No,
I'm
go
grateful
ahead.
for
No,
this.
this
And
is
then
what
we
I
go.
wanted you to. This is what I wanted to cover because there is so much chatter right now. We're all focused on the tariffs. How can you not be? I mean, it's in your face constantly, and so there's just a lot. I think there is way too much focus on the rates. We did a couple of weeks ago. I pulled out the Colorado loan officers that were in the Scotsman's Guide. 17,000 loans from 157 loan officers almost, and the point is that those loans were always going to be done whether those guys did them or not. All the loans you guys closed last year, those were always going to close whether you did them or not. There's so much opportunity. Yes. It's just getting in front of more opportunities. That's all this is.
Well, you got to remember this, guys. So let me move this out the way. I'm going to cook with you guys in the chat box, okay? The number 1 secret sauce of success in any industry, this is literally this is me. All right, I'm going to type this out. More volume of reps. Volume is not mortgage volume, right? It's basically reps. So it's the quantity, right? Times the quality of the reps, okay? So what I mean by that is this, okay? You can't just go to the driving range and just keep practicing, your golf skills when you suck for 4 hours thinking you can get better, okay? You got to go to the driving range, but you got to practice purposefully. You got to be like, okay, like I need to improve on this. So now what do I mean by this in the mortgage land, right? Like what you guys are doing on these calls is you're coming together and you're creating a winner's locker room that like, wow, if Dean can do this or Jacqueline's got this many loans in the pipeline or Ryan's doing this, like I'm in the right group, right? I'm around winners that are showing up and they're doing some things positive every single week. That's step number 1 is to get the mindset and be around winners. Follow? Second is all of you got to remember, the more people that are in your sphere, the more opportunities you'll have to get more business. Now, what's happening right now in this market what you were doing in the past in terms of your initial loan consultation and your rate lock consultation, you have to get better at that. There's a lot of skill involved. Okay. So we know the 800-pound gorilla in the room is mortgage rates. You already know borrowers are coming on, and that's the biggest question they have. You have to address it. This is called the preemptive strike in sales. That's literally what it's called, right? Wayne Gretzky used to say, I go where the puck is going, famous hockey player. You guys have to know, you have to get to that objection immediately. So what does this mean, right? When you get a new borrower referred to you and you're doing a formal layout call, initial loan consultation, it needs to be very structured. And Dave, what I'll do is just remind me, I'll send you a masterclass, give it to all your group here of exactly how you do the first 15, 20 minutes where you're not talking about rate at the beginning. Okay.
All right. That's right.
You're really differentiating yourself in terms of your professionalism of how you're doing discovery. Great salespeople ask, then guide, then tell. Bad salespeople just tell. Like the other day, Dave, I had one of the students send me a recording of his Zoom initial loan consultation. God is my witness. I almost vomited at my desk. I got the sickest feeling in my stomach. I said, I'm responsible for this guy. What is he doing? He's putting the tariffs under a microscope. He's putting this. How about you look in the mirror? The process was terrible. You have a couple on camera, tatted up, artistic. I don't even need to know their job. These people are not finance people, dude. They need crayons. They don't need MSNBC candlestick charts. You're looking at their body language and it's like, phew, right over their head. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Who taught you this? I go, dude, I'm embarrassed for me as your coach. We're completely redoing. No wonder you're losing business. We cannot give these people too much up front. So listen, stay with me now. Your guys' focus these next 30, 60, 90 days, Dave, I'll give you the resources, is to really master how you do an initial loan consultation where you do about 8 to 10 discovery questions, right? You lay out what you're going to cover on that call, which is you're going to help the borrower really assess a good, comfortable mortgage payment, a good, comfortable down payment, and the right price point. So they're seeing that you have leadership. All of you will learn how to create what's called an LVP, a lender value proposition. All of you. And you can use mine. Because mine for years has been, Mr. Gallegos, I'm really excited for our time together. Now that I have an understanding of what's important for you, your timeline, your property type, right? Before we get started, quick 30-second commercial on me. I'm one of the top lenders in Colorado. I have successfully served over 100 home buyers. My number one priority is to make sure you can comfortably afford your mortgage payment through the education that you deserve. That was my line. I've said it 3,000 times. Not Colorado, I would say the country. You have to say that. Now, I know before we get really started, interest rates are the biggest topic right now. What I want you to understand is I bust my butt. I will get you guys a competitive interest rate. I monitor the markets every single day. I would not be one of the top lenders if I had high rates. I just need you to trust my process in terms of how to get you the best financing strategy overall. Your words have to matter, guys. But you see the intensity I say it in? Now I'm on a sales call. I notch it down a little bit, but they're like, this guy has my back. The reason why half your people are rate shopping is because you haven't told them that you have their best interest and you're already credible around getting them a competitive rate. So they don't think you have their best. They think you're a salesperson. So they think they got to go do that. Half your rate shoppers will quickly be eliminated because they're too busy. They're hiring you and they trust you and you've set the tone that you got their best interest. You follow?
Yep.
Right off the bat, your conversion rates will increase. How you set the tone at the beginning of those calls. Okay. Now, for the spirit of time, I can't get much more technical, right? But I'll give you some other gems because that's my priority is to leave you guys
Before
better.
you go, well, let's hit on the business on getting in front of more agents, getting in front of more clients. Like what are you coaching on that regard? Because I know that with Justin, that conversation that you and I had about Justin was kind of impactful, like what the conversation that just talk about that, because I think we've been hitting on the rate shopping thing. We've actually made a lot of progress. A lot of guys have really improved that, just maybe focusing on, especially after you did that call with Daniel Saw, and then the one that you did after that, where you talked about investing time up front on building rapport. Such an important, I think that's the most important part of what's missed for loan officers, is they don't invest time in the relationship before they start mortgage talk. And but talk about that. Talk about especially that conversation with, because I think that was really an important aha. That's what I talked to Jacqueline about, was the approach of the lack of consistency that, starts to happen when when the leads aren't flowing and you're not getting in front of as many people as you want to get in front of.
Okay. Well, this business is really my mind, you guys. The day I started to really think about the processes and systems of the actual business is when my business took off, right? I had more process than personality. The first thing that I want all you guys to obsess over is what's called your relationship trackers. Okay. Everything at the end of the day, you get more leads based on your marketing and selling prowess, your promotion and prospecting prowess. Okay. So the problem with most loan officers, they oversell a small audience. Okay. It's like they have 5 realtors, but in their head, they think they have like 40. So the first thing I make everybody do is I say, look, we got to get you to the point where you have 1,000 realtors that see you on Facebook. Start there, right? I want you to start hearting and commenting other realtors' posts, right, in your local state, whatever. And you got to get to the point where you have 1,000 friends on Facebook that are realtors. From there, you got to get out there and get 300 realtors that know and like you. Okay. So what do I mean by know and like you? See, 1,000 realtors is I know of Dean. 300 realtors is, oh, I know Dean. I've met Dean. Right? When you think bigger and you have more reps and volume, you guys also come from a place of choice, a place of want. You can choose if that realtor is the right realtor at the right version of themselves at the right time. So you have this ability to be able to choose who you want to do business with. All of you got to get to this in this market, 50 realtors that trust you. They're giving you 1 lead minimum in the last trailing 6 months. Okay. So the difference between know and like and trust is I've given you 1 lead in the last 6 months. Right? You got to have 50 of those people. And right now is the time for you to be able to go do that. And I'll tell you how in a minute. Lastly, all of you have to hustle. You may not have these numbers. It's okay. But at least you got to work off math. More math, less stress. 10 realtors that love you. Right now, all of you should go through your Focus 50 realtor list and do an analysis. Right? Just geek out, roll your sleeves up and say, okay, Amir challenged me. Dave, you can give him the little workbook I use at Go, right? Where it's the spreadsheets. He challenged me to figure out how many realtors am I really in a relationship with that have actually referred me 1 lead in the last 6 months. You might only have 10. Listen, it's better to be consciously incompetent than unconsciously incompetent. You guys might as well know that I suck, right? Than thinking you're like the man when you're not the man, right? You got to call each of those people and say, I have a favor to ask you. I'm on a mission to add 1 more realtor. Instead of me going out and cold calling, I think the world of you. Who's an upcoming you? Who's a future you? Who's another real estate agent that you really respect? Would you be open to connecting me? Anytime you call someone and says, I have a favor to ask of you, or I need your help, people actually like you more. You got to get your realtors right now to refer you other realtors, because the good ones are out there and not being approached. So that's number 1. Okay. The second thing is, I have a big saying at Go: if you don't track, you don't care. I believe that. If I have a chief financial officer and he's not tracking the money, I'm like, you don't care, you're fired, right? I don't know what else to tell you. Like it's really we could say the whole story, your MBAs and all. I'm a 2 + 2 = 4 guy. Thank God I don't have a college degree sometimes. I'm like, because I don't overthink things. You're a CFO, you're not tracking the books, you're fired. Like, I don't know what to tell you, right? Like, you run the scoreboard for the basketball game, you're not tracking the scores, you're fired. Like, it's that simple. All of you got to start tracking your activity during the week, even if the activity is not high, to get an idea, am I doing the work, right? These are the 2 things. Now, Dave, my last thought on this is this, okay? All of you have to remember this and never forget it, okay? Every single day, there is a realtor that's looking for a new loan officer. Every single day, that realtor you may not want to do business with is upset with one of their loan officers, their loan officer quit, dropped the ball, all that. I know this because in my level 3 elite group, I gave them a 25 for 25 assignment. Give me the top 25 realtors in your market that have a minimum of 25 buyer sides in the last 6 months. They gave me the list. They went after all of them. They're all booming. They came back and say, gosh darn it, Amir, you were right. I called on 25. I met with 8. 3 of them are sending me business right now. I don't know what to tell you, right? Like it's that simple. So it's like, well, what do I say? This is where your lender value prop comes in. I'll tell you what to say. Now, everyone's a little bit different, right? Like I would have warmed them up on social a little bit, but I would call flat out and say, Dave, my name is Amir. It's great to meet you. Reason I'm calling is I'm only looking to bring on one more agent. I'm a top loan officer locally. I know a lot of loan officers. I know a lot of realtors right now are looking to top grade their loan officers. Is there an opportunity for you and I to get together and I can share with you what I'm doing for realtors to help them win in this market? And stop talking. So replay this call because I know it's been recorded. Dave, my name is Amir. It's great to meet you. You're a top realtor. I'm a top loan officer. I know a lot of realtors right now are looking to top grade their loan officers. Is an opportunity for you and I to meet so I can share with you what I'm doing for my realtors. Now, what am I doing for my realtors? This is where all of you in your market, the last piece of advice I'm going to give you, you should be going out there meeting with financial advisors. You should have 5 to 10 financial advisors by the end of the year that are referring you business. Because what's going to happen is now you're going to tie them both together, Dave and gang. Those financial advisors are going to refer you purchases with unrepresented buyers. And that's going to be your little bait to realtors and say, well, this is how I do it. I don't just network with realtors, Mr. Realtor. I have 4 or 5 financial advisors that refer me. As we do more business, I'm happy to refer you. But that's a way for you to stand out. That's how you go about the business right now. Your database, last thing actually, and I got to run here. I want all of you, today's Thursday, okay? Moving forward, every single Thursday, you will have a 1-hour power hour before 12, after 8. Dave, if you're taking notes, ask me for this playbook, but you have it.
No,
All of you.
we're recording this.
Okay, you have to play offense and defense right now. You guys, I am screaming this from the hilltops. I tell all my borrowers at the rate lock consultation, I say, Mr. Borrower, Mr. Raber, it's an honor to support you. I do think we locked the interest rate today. And I want you to keep in mind 2 things. Number 1, if rates go down more than 0.25%, I have the ability to float your rate down. So I'm monitoring the market every single day. I have your back there. Second, this is a rent to mortgage, Mr. Reaver. I think in the next 6 to 18 months, you're not going to have this mortgage. And when we do this loan for you, I'm going to do the next loan on the house. No refinance costs. Because you're a great client of mine. It's not a lot of work the second time around. You're already in the home, right? I already have your, stuff. Like, it's all good. Oh, wow. Amir's going to take care of us with that. Yes. Now, Mr. Reber, I want to tell you something. When these rates start moving down, the servicing companies who you make payments to, and everybody and their mother is going to be calling you to try to sell you a refinance. Call me first. I have your best interest first. It may not even make sense. You guys got to protect your EPOs these next 6 months. I cannot stress that enough. All right. So be calling all your clients that closed in the last 7 days. Thank them. Call as many clients as you can that you haven't spoken to in the last 3-4 months and say, hey, it's Dean. How are you doing? It's your mortgage guy. Listen, I know there's a lot of talk right now in the news about tariffs and rates. I have your best interest first. I'm monitoring the market for you, Mr. Reaver. If these rates come down, you'll get a phone call from me. But if you get a phone call from anyone that's in advance, a lot of them are just trying to push the refinance or try to sell you. Call me first. I have your best interest. That's what you say in the voicemails. You create a moat with your borrowers. Okay. All right. Did you guys get some value out of this? Did you guys get some gems, some nuggets?
It was great, dude. Thank you very
Okay.
much, Amir.
Yep.
It was
It's
great
my
having you.
pleasure. Ryan, I'm really proud of you. I hear you're killing it, brother. Right. I hear a couple of you guys are in go. I know Jacqueline's there. If I missed some of you guys, I apologize. I know a few guys are coming to GrowthCon. I can't wait to see you guys. And that guy, Giuseppe Battiolili, that guy is a boss. I love that name, man. That's a beautiful name,
Battaglioli.
man.
You like butchered the hell out of it. It's Battaglioli.
Battaglioli? Did I get it right?
Battaglioli. Battaglioli.
Hey, what part of Italy are you from, Giuseppe, originally?
Right in the
Your
center.
family? Right in the center?
In the center, yeah.
Yeah. Like where? What,
Yeah.
Tuscany or something?
Just south of Tuscany, north
Yeah.
of Rome.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we've been there many times, man. My dream is to live in Montalcino, this little village in Tuscany called Montalcino, man. So it's a beautiful place, man. But it's great to
We'll
meet you
get
guys.
there.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I can't wait to meet you guys all in person.
Thanks,
Thank
dude.
you guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thanks.
See you.
See you later. See ya. Right on. That was cool. The good dude. He's a great guy. He does come off pretty proud of himself for sure, but I mean, he's really good, and I get some really good coaching from him. I really enjoy it, both on the sales stuff and on the softer skill stuff that he helps me with. So, because I definitely could use some help there for sure. Let's talk about the new ops leader. Her name is Cara Julian, Cara Julian. So you can look her up on LinkedIn. Just a badass. Of course, I know I've said that before. Thrive Mortgage, Director of Credit Risk and Underwriting for the last 10 years. She ran all of it. So Thrive got bought by Lower, for those of you that don't know. And then, you just heard Amir talk about how he left Lower because of how poorly it was run. I can't remember if she got laid off or if she left because of what they were doing. The plan was she was going to be running. They told her she was going to be in charge of all of it, and then that just the longer she was there, the more that wasn't what was happening to her. And so again, I think she got laid off. I'm not sure if she quit or if she got laid off, but she ran all the department, all the underwriting department, collateral underwriters, junior underwriters, underwriting support specialists. She has a really strong background in condo underwriting, so we're not going to have to use a condo company. She's like, no, I can train everybody. She goes, condos are easy. I hate it when somebody says, oh, it's easy. Well, it's because you know what you're doing and you know the rules around it. She goes, no, I can get them approved. I know how to get projects approved. It's a pain in the ass, takes a long time, but I know how to do it. If it's a project that's never gotten its approval yet. So I think that's going to be a big lift for us as well. She's had exposure to the entire manufacturing process, from disclosures to post-closing and post-closing steps and getting loans purchased. So she's had exposure to all of that. She was never in charge of all of it. She knows how to underwrite at a really high level. She's DE, VA LAP. So she's going to be a big help there. She's really excited. She's got a really strong personality. You're going to like her right away because she's very engaging, very personable. Like you immediately like talking to her is what I noticed when I first talked to her. She was just really fun to talk to. And we had a great conversation. And then Mike and Amy, this is what our process this time was. I was going to do a Zoom interview with them. And then if I liked them, I was going to have Mike and Amy do a Zoom interview with them. And if they liked them, we were going to bring them in for a face-to-face with just Amy and I. And so we narrowed that down to 2 people. We narrowed that process down to 2 people. Amy and Mike did that Zoom interview with 4 people and got it down to the 2 that we wanted to do face-to-face. The 2 that we did face-to-face were both really good. The gal on the second face-to-face was really strong as well. The one strike against her was she was from Cherry Creek / Guild, and they don't originate in Encompass. They're on a proprietary LOS. And so not that that's a huge deal, but it's not a lift. It's kind of a drag because, she's going to have to learn it, right? She's going to have to get inside of Encompass and start poking around and figuring shit out. So I think that's a big lift. And so that was really, other than that, man, she was a great candidate. She was really nice. Although the other thing that made her maybe not as directive is she had like zero exposure to the other parts of the manufacturing process. It was all underwriting. So, I mean, she interacted with people, but she never had exposure to disclosing, and she never had exposure. I mean, she knows what it is, obviously, and closing and shipping and all of that stuff. So, just FYI, I mean, that was probably the biggest difference. But Amy loved her, Mike loved her. So we made her the offer on, what's today? Made her the offer a day before yesterday. She accepted. She took all her paperwork back that night, and she's starting Monday. So we're excited to have her, and I think the ops team is really going to like her as well. So I'm really excited. Kara, again, her name is Kara Julian. She lives up in northwest Arvada, so kind of a haul, like off of Highway 93, like between like Golden and, I don't know if you've ever been up, if you've ever driven up 93, Arvada extends really close to Boulder now, but so she's right there, those new developments up there. She's got a couple of grown kids from Nebraska originally. Just a really cool gal. Like, you're gonna really enjoy her. Before that, she was at W.J. Bradley for 3 years as the underwriting manager, and then before that, Wells Fargo for like 3 years. She's like the youngest or oldest of seven kids, 8 kids. She's got 6 sisters and 2 brothers, and so just really cool gal. I mean, she's really gonna like her, and I think the operations team is really gonna vibe with her really well as well. But I made sure that she understood the importance of like really building this relationship with sales, helping them understand. But you guys are gonna like her right away. Like, you're just gonna enjoy her. She's not gonna be afraid to get on the phone and have a conversation with you and get things done. So I'm looking forward to it. Any questions? All right.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And then yesterday, it became really obvious to us over the last couple, 3-4 weeks of all the turnover, all the changes that were going on in that department with when Jenna left and then Lauren left, and how much Chelsea Wilder has just really stepped up and really shined. Like, and so, because, you know, this is my exposure to the department when Kim was here, and this is my fault, but I'm not blaming Kim, but my exposure to the department was that she had made Jenna a team lead. And we were like, you sure about that? Because, you know, here's some things about, you know, last minute issues. And she said, no, she's working really hard and she's trying really hard. She's doing a really good job. And I really feel like she's earned it. And so it's like, oh, all right. And so she made her team lead. And I think that was not, you know, that was probably not very well received. And so just watching her work the last couple, 3 weeks, the way she really cares, and she's working really hard to help Nicole figure this stuff out. Nicole's going to be sharp, you guys. I mean, I know, Chris, thanks for that email that you sent today about that. Just, you know, the more you guys can show gratitude and appreciation, even when there's, you know, a drop here and there, that's always going to happen. There's always going to be little things that get missed that we just work to get better. Like, again, what if we don't blame the person and we just blame the process? Like, what can we do in our process to fix that so that it doesn't happen again? But I think Nicole really cares a lot too. She's going to be a really strong person in that department. And so, so I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, Nicole's great. Oh my God. It's such a relief compared to Lauren. I mean, Lauren was, I don't know if you guys worked with her. I don't want to talk bad, but like, she was ordering title like day of loan deadline for me. And I was just like, what? Yeah. And Nicole's like, I had pipeline with her yesterday and she's like, yep, did that already. I was like, huh? Like, didn't have to ask her, like, kind of like thought like out of the box, like, ooh, instead of ask the borrower for something, I'm going to like go get it from title or, you know, whatever. And I was like, oh, thank you. Just whatever you got to do.
Yeah. I think she's going to be really strong. I think she's going to be really strong. And now with a really strong leader that isn't going to be afraid to roll up her sleeves. That was one of the issues that, you know, that Kim had, is that she didn't want to like do, and she didn't want to step in and doing, she didn't want to cover a pipeline for anybody. So like if somebody was going on vacation, she stopped giving them new files and she started giving them to everybody else. She wouldn't just cover the pipeline. like Holly used to do that. Holly used to cover everybody's pipeline. Holly's weakness is she couldn't underwrite. So that was the deal. And so it's funny that with Kelly, after what happened with Allie, Kelly's like, I don't think that we should let somebody do anything until we give them test files to underwrite. So we already told Kara that you're going to have to do some test files that Kelly's going to check for you to see. And she's like, I'm game. I'll do them. Let's go. And so, so that's really cool that Kelly feels that way too. Kelly's somebody who really cares about this as well. But so I'm really starting to get because I'm telling you, it's not easy to like talk to recruits when you know in the back of your mind, you're like, God, this is fucked up. I got to get this resolved. It's not easy to do. It's like, I used to tell Giuseppe the stories of, I remember sitting at a closing once and sitting out at a closing at a realtor breakfast early in my career with my phone, and it was a big brick phone back then, and sitting in my back pocket, and it's blowing up because the closing that's happening right then, I know the docs aren't there. I know the money's not there, and my phone's just blowing up. And I'm trying to tell the realtor, yeah, it'll be really smooth closings and blah, blah, blah. And it's like really fucking hard to bullshit. And it's hard to recruit too. So I'm really excited the direction this is headed. It gives me a lot more confidence. Like it would be fun to bring a recruit in and go like, hey, I just want you to meet my ops team here. You need to come meet her and just like have a one-on-one and start asking her questions. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. And that's really powerful. So that's exciting as well. Anyway, so we promoted, what I was going to tell you is that we made it, I'm going to announce it tomorrow on the Friday call that we're promoting her to a team lead processing role. She's super happy, and we really like her. So that's good news. What else?
Is she getting a raise as well?
Pardon me?
Is she getting a pay bump as well with the
Yeah.
team lead title? Okay.
Yep. No, just title in lieu of pay.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah.
And a name tag for her desk.
Ooh, a name
Team
tag.
lead.
She gets it.
Jelly
she
of
gets
the
it-
month club.
We're gonna make it the
Jelly of the month.
It's gonna
manager.
update her email signature.
Yeah, we're gonna make you the processing manager.
Oh man,
Where the hell's Casey, by the way?
I don't know.
He had a closing,
Oh, okay, cool.
really ugly one with change.
Oh yeah, he told me about the appraisal. Brutal.
Ugh.
Brutal. But
Right.
here, this is a good knowledge boost. Appraiser went out, did the appraisal on this house. There was a listing on the house that he used in the he used the listing that was under contract in the comps. The house sold for 50 grand more than the listing price. And everybody knew it, but the appraiser didn't use it. And the reason that he didn't use it is you can't really use it until it's recorded. You
Right.
can't use it until it's recorded, which means it has to have closed. And it was going to close before this closing.
No, it closed before the appraisal. That's what
It
happened.
didn't close before the appraisal.
That's what Casey said.
No, it closed. No,
Oh.
it was going to close before this closing.
Oh.
It was going to close before this closing. And Casey says, like, I thought like our appraisers could wait until that closed and make that the effective date of the appraisal. We checked with George, and Matt's like, no, you can't. He goes, the effective date of the appraisal is the date you inspect the property. It's not the date you complete the appraisal. Because that was it. Casey's argument is the guy's completing the appraisal after that loan closed, that deal closed, and he could have used it. And Matt's like, no, not unless he goes back out and he has to re-inspect the house that he's appraising, go inside and take pictures again because it's based on that date. I didn't know that. So that's a good knowledge boost. It's like, oh shit, I didn't realize that, because we were thinking that that you could just hold the appraisal and do the report after you've inspected it and after that deal closes so that you can use that sales price, but that's not right.
Well, that's why we like using our own appraisers, because they would probably say something right rather than the change. It was a
Well,
change.
what Matt will say is
More
Matt,
work with us.
so here's what Matt, he goes, you want to know what I do? And I go, yeah, what do I do? He goes, I don't go inspect it until I know the deal's closed. If I know that's coming, I'm going to wait.
Yeah, you would call the listing agent, be like, hey, when's this closing? What's it selling for? 50 grand more? Okay. So
I'm waiting. That's what Matt would do. And as I told Matt, I go, well, Matt, that's why you pick and choose who you work with. And that appraiser's dying for business because we're never going to want to use him again, right? Like whatever his name is, we're not going to ever add him to our panel because he's not about helping you get the deal done. And Matt's laughing. He goes, well, yeah, I guess that's probably right. And he goes, and if I knew it was closing at a price below the list price, I'm doing the inspection now. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting for that thing to get recorded.
crazy.
Matt's a good appraiser.
Well,
Matt
and
knows what
Casey,
business. Matt knows what business he's in.
and the other thing that happened was Casey was trying to price the loan and lock it in. It was like on April 4th or whatever, and
Waited.
had an issue and emailed the guy. And then like 3 hours later, he's like, oh, I locked it. And then, but it was like 60 bips worse. So Casey had to go back to the borrower and charge him 60 more basis points. So just FYI, it's probably why it's better to use Deep Haven because you
Oh.
lock it yourself and
Dude,
you
that's
don't
one
have
of
to worry
the,
about like the TPO portal and all that other shit.
yeah, no, this, yeah, for sure.
I have one thing I'm sure we talked about before, but I had a client that's going to recast pretty heavily because they're selling the property obviously, and I know this comes around a lot. Huntington, you know, if you do it with like Penny Mac or whatever, and they recast within the first 6 months, and it's a big amount, like you like lose your commission. Huntington doesn't care. So just, I know we've talked about people that are going to sell their property right away or whatever, charging points. But if you have a person that's going to recast, just lock it Huntington.
Thank you. That's good to know.
I emailed
It
Pat.
seems
And,
like all the other banks pretty much are doing some kind of a prorated EPO commission clawback based on the size of the recast. So that's good to know that Huntington doesn't.
Yeah.
A lot of them are posting how much the recast can be. So I've just been coaching clients like, here, you can pay up to this amount on the recast in this timeline. And then otherwise I have to pay the commission back. So not everybody follows that. That's my client who paid off his loan in 16 days, but that's different.
I also just emailed it to you guys. It's like 45 to 60 days. So I just tell people like with Huntington, just like 1 month, just make one payment. So
Guys, make
trying
sure
to get back in their good graces. I locked a big $1 million property up in Breckenridge. So trying to get the doctor back, guys.
And it's an agency deal. It's an agency deal.
Yeah, it's
So just make
the
sure on these, because we're going to transition to this refinance opportunities as they come your way. Make sure you're double and triple checking those payoff dates. Double and triple check them. Can't base it. You got to make sure you know how that lender counts it, because every lender's got a different way they count it. They count it based on the close. Some do closing date, some do purchase date, some do first payment due date, right? So you just got to make sure that you cover it. These guys are not in the business of wanting to lose money. And so they're going to take advantage, especially with when you see all this consolidation. They're just getting a lot more drilled down on how they manage their pipelines, which makes sense. I mean, they're in the business to make money just like us, right? So it's weird that we have this partnership and then this battle, but we always have. It's just weird. It's getting weirder, it seems.
Do we have the EPO in the share?
In that
Yeah.
spreadsheet,
Okay.
you can tell. Yeah, it's on there. So just
And do we
go
have
and
something
look.
in Encompass that shows purchase date? Look, that's what we had at VIP. So I just don't.
Yeah, it's in there. There's a safe EPO date in your Encompass file.
Okay, in the borrower summary in hand.
Yeah, it should be in the borrower summary. I'm getting approached a bunch all of a sudden by clients who own their properties outright or almost outright and want to buy another property. And their plan is to sell the primary and then just wipe out the next one. And like the Zavvi Modern Bridge is like the only scenario, but like I don't get fucking paid on these deals. I don't want to do this. Like it's a waste of my time. So like
When we have let me put this into perspective for you guys, because what you're talking about is bridge loan financing.
Mhm.
Let me tell you how much bridge loan financing costs. Okay, because bridge loan financing isn't first mortgage lending rates.
Right.
It's not 6.25% or 7%. It's prime plus. It's like prime plus 1 or prime plus 2 because it's a bridge loan. Not going to be serviced very long, and it's going to come with a point or two, 1.5. They're not free, and so when you if somebody went out and got a bridge loan at a bank, they'd be like, they're not like 3% interest rates with no fees, they're expensive.
No,
because
that's
it's
not.
a short-term deal.
Yeah, that's less my issue than like if I'm kicking them over to Zavvy, we don't get any pay on Zavvy. If my client's just using Zavvy as like the middleman and not doing a loan at all with me, like
Right.
that's my question is like, any of you have any other options? Like, because I don't want to play the middleman for free. It's a pain in the ass.
Well,
don't
you're gonna
like-
get
We
your
get
little
some
referral
money.
fee from
We haven't done a
Zavvy.
Zavvy deal in a long time because we haven't gotten a check. We get some money. We get like
I
500
have
bucks
2
or
going
something.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get some money, but it's not much.
Well,
not
hopefully
much.
Dave
Can
can
they
get
qualify
something.
for a loan or not? You know, like the one I closed last week, we charged them 2.5 points, and she's gonna pay off the loan in the next month.
2.5 points at a par rate.
No,
No.
2.5 points.
Below par.
Yeah,
2.5 points. Okay, so then we're clear all the way across the board on all the comps.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because we didn't get paid from the investor. So, but you gotta, now if you just so you know, you're gonna charge the customer 2.5 points and you're gonna go 2.5 points under par on the lock.
right.
so to the client, it was a 6% rate, which I was like, that's amazing. 2.5 points.
Of how
And
much
she can
dollars
pay
was
it
the
off
2.5
any
points?
time, or she got a 6.8 rate with no points, and she had to keep it for 6 months. The 6 months of payments were way more than the 2 points.
How much did the
2.5 points.
2.5 points cost her?
I don't remember, like
In
13
dollars.
grand or something. Way
How
less
much?
than 6 months of payments.
There you go.
But that they have to be able to qualify for that, right? If you have someone that can't qualify for a non-contingent purchase, then Zavvy's the only thing until we come up with our own bridge program.
And Jack, there's been times where I just hand it to Zavvy too. I'm like,
Yeah.
here you go. Like, I don't play middleman. I tell them they'll follow
Okay.
me.
They'll handle it because I haven't
Yeah.
had that experience yet with
Yeah, they
them.
handle
They'll
it. They
call
want
you
like a
and-
screenshot because you're not going to have an application. They want a screenshot of their credit, like a Credit Karma or whatever,
Okay.
and their mortgage statement, and that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Okay.
Anytime
So
you
they
guys run
provide
into one
that,
of
you
these
make the
deals,
introduction, and you'll get a couple $100 check or something down the road.
anytime you guys have a question about these deals where you're gonna do the 2.5 points, just talk to me. I'll make sure that you're doing it right. Cause I know it seems like, well, wait, how does it work? Cause like we're collecting all the revenue that you would have been paid. If you sell it at par with no points, we're collecting all the revenue from the investor. If you charge 2.5 points, you can drop the rates. And it's no different than the customer paying discount points. But when we collect the discount points, we keep the discount points. Because
I
we're
did
not
not
getting
know
paid
that.
from the
I
investor for the
see.
loan.
I see what you're saying because it's all margin that we're adding on top of a raw rate sheet. So
Right,
we're collecting.
right.
Yeah,
Ah.
it didn't make sense to me though.
Oh.
It's like, shouldn't it be 2.5
I don't
points
know why
at
it's so
par?
hard. Like,
Okay, no,
what
this
part of
makes
this
sense.
don't
We're
you
not paying the
understand?
investor. We're paying us for the loss in margin.
Right.
All right. This makes sense now.
We keep the money. The customer's not getting it back.
I'm bagging
Right.
what you're mowing, bro.
I don't know if you guys listened to that podcast with Tim, but that guy,
I've never heard that before.
What did you say?
I said
I'm bagging
you-
what you're mowing.
Stop.
All right. This went long. That was a good call with Amir. That was good to have him.
Yeah, can you send out his the stuff he's gonna send you? 'Cause I was on his coaching call and I have his like scripts, but I stopped. I only started taking screenshots at step 4. And I was like,
Give
"Man, I need
Kofi access to the whole portal, Dave.
Yeah, I can give you access. I think I can get you access to the whole portal if you want.
Yeah, I just want to update my discovery call because it got too like I just got stuck in like COVID where it's like I just need to get through this fast because I have like 7 others today.
He's got a pretty good ILC script. He's a little like, for me at least, he's a little too like businessy. Like here's what I'm gonna do to take care of you. And this is like, for me, I'm like, I think you and I probably fall in a little bit more of like the personal, authentic approach. So you kind of have to spin it a little bit because I think he kind of
Yeah.
leans too much like that. But he's got a good like, and I like that LVP. It's just like, where do you
The
throw that?
structured sequencing that he teaches, that's what attracted me to him at the very beginning. Sales is structured sequencing. And too many salespeople don't structure the sequence. Mike White used to teach the same thing. You guys do the same 5 loans 95% of the time. Follow the same process every time. That doesn't mean, and that means what you say to them and how this is going to work and what the next steps are. It's always the same. And then it becomes, and it becomes very very predictable because you know you're going to get well, Ryan, what you said yesterday was so, I'm using the term rapport is the new rate lock. Like rapport is the differentiator in my mind. And what Ryan said he's starting to do now that he's noticed the big difference is that when he gets the customer on the phone, he's acting like they've known each other for a long time. And it's like, hey, Chris and Emily, how you guys doing? Instead of, hey, hi, Chris, it's nice to meet you. Instead of like, dude, it's not nice to meet you. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's nice to meet you guys. What's
Well,
up?
it was that tonality that podcast I
That
sent out.
tonality
It kind of
part.
like
Yeah, it's awesome.
pinpointed what I already have done, but it like quantified it for me. And so now like that's what I've realized I've done essentially. It's just like get to like feel like people, you know, me and them are buddies before we even are buddies.